Okay, buddy, you're here today because you stopped by your dealer's house to buy some cocaine to go home and relax a little bit before you picked your wife up from work. And the next thing you know, a friend came over with a six-pack, and you said, okay, yeah, I'll have a couple beers, and then I got to pick my wife up, and the next thing you know, the six-pack was gone, the cocaine was gone, so you decided to go out with your friend and get some more cocaine, and stayed out all night. And basically your wife was standing in the kitchen when you got home and was upset and saying that she was tired of your partying and your drinking and that she was leaving you.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I screwed up big time.
Yeah, so you're feeling pretty panicky about losing your relationship with your wife because you value your marriage.
Yeah, I'm feeling more than panicked. I'm feeling scared.
Right. What exactly did your wife say?
She said, she told me a lot of things, but she told me specifically I had to stop drinking, stop using, stop doing everything, and just basically grow up.
Grow up. So she's wanting you to grow up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did she say anything about you not picking her up from work?
Well, originally I was just going to do a little bit of coke and just spend a quiet afternoon by myself and then pick her up from work. I completely forgot. And yeah, she said a lot about that. She was not happy that I did not pick her up.
What exactly did she say about not picking her up from work?
She said, you gotta stop, you gotta grow up, you gotta be a man, you gotta keep your word, you gotta do what you say you're gonna do.
Right, so you sound pretty embarrassed about not picking your wife up from work.
I can't believe it, really. I mean, I would never in a million years do anything on purpose to jeopardize my relationship with my wife, and yet here I sit today because I did.
Right. Now, was she just upset that you didn't pick her up from work, or was she upset that you didn't pick her up from work and that you...
She was upset for everything. I mean, she was upset that I didn't pick her up. She was upset that I ended up spending the whole night out, that I just blew her off, and she just was upset that I was using drugs. She said what'd she say? She said I valued the drugs more than her.
Mm-hmm. So she's wanting you to compare your partying to her and your family, and I'm hearing you say earlier that you value your marriage and your family.
Yeah, I mean, more than anything. And again, I just feel terrible. I'm scared. I don't know. I've never been in this position before.
Yeah, you sound like a little scared. What exactly happened? You mentioned a friend came over with a six-pack of beer.
Yeah.
What happened when he came over?
So, a friend came over, and I told him, hey, come on in, and I said I got to go pick up my wife, but we can hang out for a little bit, and brought some beer, so we drank a little beer, and then we ended up using all my coke, and I don't know which one of us got the great idea to go get more, but one of us did, and the next thing you know, I'm in the car driving around trying to score some coke.
Right, so your original intent was just to have a little cocaine, drink a beer or two, relax, pick your wife up. Well, a friend came over, and you're out of coke, you're out of beer.
Yeah, and apparently out of good ideas, because what we did next certainly wasn't a good idea.
Right, so you mentioned what you did next. Can you explain what you did next?
Yeah, we went, found my dealer, got some more coke, and driving around, kind of went to our old hangouts and did a little coke, and then we ended up going to a bar and shooting some pool.
So you went to a bar, shot some pool, and
Yeah, ran into some friends, and they were partying and we were partying, so we hung out for a bit and shot some pool, and then we kind of just kept going from there. After that, somebody else had some other drugs, somebody else had something else to do.
So you were just hanging with some friends, and then saw some more friends.
Yeah.
And then they had some drugs, so you were just
So
like,
we
hey,
did 'em.
you were feeling good.
Yeah, I was feeling invincible at the time.
Invincible, yeah. What happened after that?
We just kept going, and I don't know. We went over to a buddy's house, and we were watching some movies. I mean, it all seems so dumb now. Would I ever want to go watch a stupid movie with some friends to end up my wife moving out? No.
Yeah, so you're valuing your marriage, and you're feeling pretty embarrassed that time kind of got away from you. And,
time.
Even though you were, kind of enjoying yourself, relaxing, seeing some friends, shooting some pool.
Yeah.
And time got away from you. So what happened after you were playing pool?
Well, after we were playing pool, we went over to another friend's and watched a movie, and just how it is. You start talking, and then the next thing you know, it's later.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly, I remember thinking, I gotta go home. I thought that once, maybe twice, when it was still early in the night, and then I was on autopilot. I wasn't thinking about my wife. I wasn't thinking about anything. I was just feeling good, wanting to keep going, I didn't want to sleep. I didn't want to do anything.
Right. You kind of had mentioned that there were a few times that you knew you should have went back home, and then just that you were just having such a good time that you didn't want it to end. And
honestly, after probably, I don't know, 10 that night, maybe 11, I didn't even think of my wife again.
Mm-hmm. And you having fun, and
yeah.
The next thing you remember you were in the kitchen, and your wife was giving you an ultimatum.
Yeah, and let's just say I remembered her then.
Yeah, it sounds like you kind of knew you were in a little bit of trouble there.
Yeah, I just felt terrible. I was walking in, and I just should have been begging as soon as I saw her.
Yeah, so it sounds like, well, exactly what did she say when, you got there, you're pretty,
I was hammered out of my gourd.
You're hammered, you're a little embarrassed, you kind of knew that you were going to get in trouble, and there's your wife telling you to grow up, and that must have been devastating for you.
Yeah, it was kind of like she was holding up this big old mirror, and everywhere I looked, I saw me, and I was sitting there with my bloodshot eyes, my hair sticking up all over the place. I was, a mess, and if I could have maybe saw myself a little clearer if I wasn't so shaky and wobbly all over the place.
So if I get this correctly, you were supposed to pick your wife up from work.
Yeah.
And you wanted to relax, so you did some cocaine. A friend came over, you had a few beers, you ran out of coke, you decided to get some more coke, you ran into some more people, and just kept on playing pool. Time was getting away from you. You knew somewhere in there that you should have called your wife and let her know how you were doing. And basically, next thing you were watching a movie, and pretty much after that, you were feeling pretty terrible in the morning when you met your wife, and your wife was giving you an ultimatum to grow up and quit drinking.
Yeah, or she was gone.
Okay. Well, we can work on this a little bit next week. Thanks again, buddy.
Thank you.